All right, welcome everyone to the Fox Den. I am sitting down this morning with Alana Horn. Alana, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Let's just jump right in. Why don't you tell us what it is that you do for a living?
Well, I am founder and CEO of a company that I started probably about a year ago. It's called Roomeeo, and it kind of came about just from my life experience, actually, getting my daughter ready for university. I never went away to university. I never lived away from home. And so this was really the first time I got to experience what it was like, the excitement, the chaos, having a child leave for the first time for at least 4 years. So all this stuff came about, and I became very overwhelmed with the whole process. And I thought it was going to be simple, but it wasn't. So from the chaos came Roomeeo.
Okay.
And earlier in my career, I was, always a salesperson, business development, advertising, media sales, always innovative, always thinking of ideas, but I never really did anything with it. And I just decided I turned 50. This is the time. If I'm going to try something, I need to try it now. So
So you
Roomeeo
start you
came about
started you started this at 50?
at 50.
So that was a milestone for you.
It was a milestone. It was definitely a milestone. I worked for other companies my whole life. I had some, a lot of highs and lows in my career. Being a salesperson, you're sometimes just at the mercy of your last sale. It's always, what have you done for me lately?
Right.
And I wanted to have control of my future. I wanted to build a legacy, and I didn't know if I could do it, but I just did it anyway.
Well, good for you. That's courageous.
Yes.
So
Tell
where
that
did
to my
you
husband.
what's that?
My husband's like, "What are you doing? You need to
Yeah.
get a job."
He wasn't on board.
Not right away. Not right
Right. You converted him.
away.
Um, where are you from? Toronto yourself?
I am from Toronto.
And where
Yes.
did you go to university?
I went to university at York,
Okay, you went to York, and what did you study there?
psychology.
Okay. And your daughter which university did she go to?
She's at Western.
She's at Western. So is
Hmm.
she's still there,
She's still there, third year kinesiology.
third
She
year.
loves the program.
She's enjoying it?
Yes. Yes.
And as you were helping her get to university, you realized this whole thing is just too complicated and we need a solution to get her really comfortable and dealing with all the money issues. Is that when you had the
It
light bulb moment?
it wasn't just the money issue. It was the fact that there's so much. When I went to university, even my friends that went to university when we were growing up, like in the 90s, it's it was like you took your grandmother's old couch, you took what you had, and that was it. There wasn't social media, there wasn't all the influencers, there wasn't, you can get everything in a click. There wasn't a million channels all over the place telling you what you could do, what you should do, these inspirational decor items that you could get, order it to your door. It just was way more simple. And what you didn't know, you didn't know. And you just did kind of, made do with what you had.
Right.
And I didn't realize it would be so complicated. And I was getting like, screenshots, and I like this at midnight, and sending me things that she liked where you couldn't even ship it to Canada. And it just became this whole big, I'm in this WhatsApp group, I'm in, there's these Facebook groups, and everyone is just all these moms are like going crazy trying to get their kids ready for university. And I was just like, this is insane. This is literally insane. And I have ADHD. I couldn't take it. Like I was angry. I wasn't even, I just wanted to enjoy the last few weeks with her that we had at home. And I wanted to be an experience that I never had. And I had also lost my mother at a very young age. So I wanted to take
Okay.
advantage of being here and being able to do this with her. And I just felt extremely overwhelmed. And I didn't want to have I felt like I was doing everything and I didn't want to have that full responsibility. I wanted to teach her how to do things on her own. And I think that she wanted to, but even a Facebook marketplace searching for a chair, for example, she wanted a swivel chair. I didn't want to pay $800 for a swivel chair.
Sure.
So I
Sure.
searched, she couldn't even go on to Facebook Marketplace. You have to be 18 and it's not safe. So I'm running around meeting strangers in the garage looking at these swivel chairs because I want to pay $400 instead of $600 for a
Right.
swivel chair, right?
Right.
So it just became really arduous and it became like a chore instead of something that I should have been enjoying. And so that's when it hit me. I'm like, these kids, we need to empower them to be able to do things that they're comfortable doing. Um, and then I could support them. I could go, so I developed this app where you can invite your roommates. It's pre-populated with everything you need from university, from dorm, apartment, house. They all have separate checklists. You build your own space. You are able to invite your roommates, and in real time, you're able to say, "Do I have it? Do I need it? Do I want to add it to a wish list so, I could show my mom I really want this. It's not an essential, but I really want it. Can I get it? Or do I skip it altogether? Is it not relevant to me?" And then you can go in and everyone can see in real time, you know, what you need. And you can assign stuff to different roommates. And so they know when they're coming in what they're responsible for. And even for dorm, even if you live by yourself, you have the ability to sort of organize and plan before you get there in a way that, is streamlined.
So so it's like a crowdsourcing idea where everyone collaborates on the app. And does this app, if people go to the App Store today, can they find Roomeeo?
So right now we're in test flight, which is in the Apple Store. So right now we're in test flight. I can share the test flight link. We have been sending it out to people that, in our network that, would need an app like that, especially going into first year. And then, you move from like on campus to off campus for second year usually. And so that's when, you have these roommates, you need a whole bunch of new stuff. Who's bringing what comes into question. You don't want to show up and move in and you have two coffee makers and no kettle. So
Sure.
it actually avoids duplicates, it avoids wasting money. And then when you go to move out 4 years later, you know what you brought. It's not like whose frying pan was this. And then you could sell your stuff. And originally I built a marketplace, which was a student verified marketplace, but I realized that there is also a problem with the coordination and packing and what you need to do and all that kind of stuff. So I pivoted from a marketplace because it's hard to get buyers and sellers at the same time, especially students. You're already kind of narrowing the market size. And so I figured if I build this coordination tool, they're in it from the beginning. And then what I plan to do is develop resale within one tool. So it'll be move in from move in to move out. So it's a life cycle platform.
So the app, so again, it's sort of a beta situation where it's on trial. Are people actually using that beta version
They
or
started using the beta version. So we started
okay,
like 2 days ago, and then we're just refining. So I was in part of a focus group yesterday, and they gave some suggestions because, the lists are pre-populated. So it's everything you can imagine. So the lists are long. Like in the bedroom, there are like, I can go into it now, there may be like 90 things that you could possibly buy or
right?
bring from home for your room. So what we're thinking of doing is, so it's not as overwhelming, the lists aren't as overwhelming, split it between essentials and non-essentials. So getting this feedback before we launch it in the store, the app store, makes it a lot better. We just want to make it better. We don't want to make it like stressful or overwhelming when you look at a list of, a
Right.
100 items in a bedroom kind of
Because
thing.
the whole point of this is to make it less stressful, right?
Yes.
Do you have the numbers of how many people are already using this?
No. I don't have the numbers actually because we just opened it up on test flight.
Okay.
So, and I just demoed it yesterday. So this is like, and I'm just sharing it out to people and groups that ask for it. Like my Everything Jewish Toronto, there was university questions that people posted, and I recognized some names, and I reached out to them saying, do you want to use this app? I'll send it to you by invite, and I'd love your feedback.
And did you get any good feedback?
I've gotten really good feedback so far.
Great.
Yeah, like it's a
So
good idea. All these dorm moms, you'll see, like if you're in the space and if people in the space, if you know, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
And these dorm moms, the US is insane, but these dorm moms are charging like $5 to give you a list of everything you need and recommendations. So there's links on their list of what you should buy, and they all buy the same things. It's not like rocket science. Like
What they're
they all like
charging
this.
they're charging people just to give them a list?
Yeah.
Couldn't people just go I mean, at this point, I'm thinking, what's stopping someone from just going to, ChatGPT and just typing in the prompts like my daughter or son is going to university. Tell me what I need. Give me a list. What's
Yes.
stopping them from doing that?
Nothing. And I mean, you can use AI. Like for example, I couldn't code this. Like I couldn't do it myself. And even working with Claude and on some of the stuff, it's like, no, this is what we think that we need in dorm. This is what you need when you move into a house. And it's actually way more complicated than I initially thought. I'm like, oh, it's like you put in a list. It's actually not, because then you're allocating it to spaces. You need to know what you have and what you need in each space. And you need to be able to keep track of everything. And so then you need to go to your roommates and say, okay, we have all this stuff. I've bought this. You owe me this. And the plan is to create the app and make it useful in so many ways. And I've developed the MVP, but really coming next are a lot of really amazing, useful features that I believe will help students manage. Also, you don't want to ask your roommate for money, then you have to ask have you asked your parents and their parents? It's just everything gets really complicated. So
Yeah.
my next step is to put a kind of like a budget calculator into the app, where everyone will be able to upload what they purchased, and so they have it and they know what they brought. And so when they go to sell it later, when they go to pack up for home, it's all there in one place. And the money is that you share, these shared items, the money that is spent, it'll automatically tell each roommate how much they owe. And you can
Oh,
also set a
yeah.
budget for that as well. So
And
that's
that's what
coming next.
that's the next rollout for
Yes.
you.
Hmm.
So is your dream to have every parents, in Canada or and the US or maybe even beyond having this app. Roomeo is a well-known app and everyone knows about it and it just completely takes off.
My North Star, and this is very interesting because I've done a lot of research. A lot of post secondary schools, they have a sustainability problem and they have huge sustainability goals. And every year at Move Out, there's so much left wasted. People are leaving things all over the place because you have very limited time to move out and to move in. And it creates a lot of chaos and it creates a lot of garbage and it wastes a lot of money and items that can be used. Other people can use, they just don't know what to do with it. Like at the end of the day, these kids are growing up and schools are number one priority and having fun and all that stuff is there. And so it should be, but it's a lot to do in a very short period of time. So a lot of stuff that is good gets wasted. And, that's where my North Star is that there's a platform that could solve all these problems that can be used globally. And I believe that every institution can benefit from it, can benefit from helping the parents help their kids before you even get there. And as it grows, so will, and it'll get better as it grows, I believe.
Do you have a team working on this? How many people are working with you?
So I have two co-founders, two of my best friends, that one of them is um, very well versed in influencer. She's, an influencer. She's more of like uh, she's a consultant. She's an influencer. She's very savvy with social. Um, and so she is working with me on that side. And then I have another co-founder, which is, our friend. The three of us are best friends. And she was also kind of in transition in her career. And she helped build Joe Fresh women's wear.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
she was a senior buyer for Joe Fresh and helped them, built that business, helped them build the business from its inception of when Joe Fresh first launched. And so, she's very good at trends and she's very organized. And when I told her what I was building, she's like, yeah, I created this notes app and I'm sending it to all these people and, I getting so organized. And I'm like, well, yeah, people need, there's a lot of organization that goes into this. And so for someone that's not organized like me, my brain is in a million directions at once. Um, it really helps.
I was thinking as you were talking, something that's supposed to be so enjoyable and smooth turns out to be so stressful. And I was thinking, like, it sounds like a wedding almost, where that's supposed to be, the couple's best day and happiest
Mm,
time. And it's really the most stressful for them,
yes.
right? So maybe there could be an app for that as well.
Well, it's funny because originally I was just like, my thought was I'm going to build a registry. So I was looking at it as a registry, but university students, when I went to go interview them, I actually went to interview some students, just that they're like a registry. They didn't quite understand it because they haven't gone through it. But the idea kind of came from a few places and a few different experiences. Like I came across an article from the CEO of babylist.com. And when they started, they were like, why, you get all this baby advice and, you can, you can purchase here and purchase there, but you need one place where you can go get that information and then kind of create your a registry. And so This is kind of like a registry, it's just more dynamic.
Oh, okay. And that's why I actually wanted to interview you, because you're right in the heart of this situation. But what advice would you give young people starting their careers, finish either going to university or finish university from a business perspective? What would you tell those young people?
Would tell them that make sure you do something that is in line with your values and in line with your passion. And that can come out in so many ways. But, you can be in finance, but love your job, and what you think, sometimes what you think you're going to do is not what you end up doing. And that's okay. And just have to experiment and try new things and believe that you can do it and that you can end up and you may not start off in the place that you're going to end up, and that's okay. And get mentors, talk to people in your industry. Find out if this is something you could see yourself doing for 30 years. And if you can't, don't stay and be miserable. Figure something out. Be resourceful. Create a plan. Take a course. There's so many things and so many times that people stay in things that they're not happy with. And I think that that's
Right.
where I was. And my lesson is, if you're not happy, don't stay in a place longer than you should.
Okay. Beautiful. So, where can people follow your work or uh, stay up to date with what you're doing?
So we have right now it's in the app is in the testing phase, and I don't know when this will be released, but by then it'll be in the app store. And I know, like, on social media and in certain WhatsApp groups that I'm a part of, like a Chabad, I'm part of the Chabad Western group, and I know my friends are part of the other Chabad groups that are um, to Jewish students. Please just go to a university that, if you can help it, that has a Chabad or has a Hillel. I think it's a game changer, and they are so good to the students. They love them. They know all their names, everything.
They probably know their names more than the professors often, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Well, listen, Alana, this has been a really interesting conversation. I hope that Rumio goes from strength to strength and continues to grow. And I appreciate that you took the time this morning to chat with me.
Thank you. So people can find us at Roomeeo on Instagram, ROOMEEO, on Instagram _you. And we will be releasing the app shortly. But if this comes out and anyone has any questions, I'll give you my contact information. They can reach out.
All right. All right. Thanks again, Alana.
Thank
Good
you.
luck and have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.